In this section, we are going to learn the basics of SaaS. So the first question is, what is SaaS? SaaS stands for Syntactically Awesome Style Sheet. In SaaS, we can use variables, nested rules, functions, loops, if else statements, and much more features. In plain CSS, we can use only variables, and the rest of features we cannot use in plain CSS. And friends, SaaS is very reusable. We can reuse some piece of SaaS code and different files. So that's why we have to use SaaS instead plain CSS. And browser don't know the SaaS code. Browser don't know the SaaS code. So what we will do? Simply we will compile our SaaS code to favor CSS. And for that we will use the npm package. For that we will use the npm package. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to create a new folder for SaaS. So go to File, now click on Open Folder, and I will create my new folder on desktop. You can create your folder anywhere. So simply new folder, and the folder name will learn SaaS. Create new folder. Now select folder. Now in the main folder I am going to create a new file, and the file name will index.html. In this file I am going to create simple HTML boilerplate. So simply HTML colon 5. Now press the tab key from the keyboard, and the title should be Learn SaaS. Now I am going to create another new file, and the file name will f.scss. Now friends, right now just add SCSS extension. Right now just add SCSS extension, and later in this course I will explain you the basic difference between SaaS and SCSS, but right now just add SCSS extension. So let me create the file. Now in this file we will have the SaaS code. In this file we will have the SaaS code. Now we have to create another new file, and the file name will f.css. In this file we will have the compiled CSS code. In this file we will have the final compiled CSS code. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to install SaaS package. With the help of SaaS package we can compile our SaaS or SCSS code to favor CSS. So simply go to this website saaslink.com, and this is an official website of SaaS. Now click on install. Let me scroll down. Now as you can see, we have to install SaaS package through npm. So open up your command prompt. Now let me type npm install After the install we have dash G. So dash G stands for global. I want to install SaaS package globally. So once we install SaaS package globally, after that we will access SaaS package throughout our system. So that's why we have to install SaaS package globally. So let me add dash G SaaS. Now press the enter key from the keyboard. Just wait a moment. Yeah, the package has been installed. Now go to VS Code. Now I want to compile some basics SAS or SCSS code to Power CSS. So go to app.scss file. Now let me add $red colon red. Now friends, don't worry about this code. I will explain you in this section how we can create SAS or SCSS variables. But for now, just add $red colon red. So this is a SAS variable, and this red variable has a red value. Now let me add body selector. Inside there we will have background, and background property will has $red variable. So let me add $red, and $red variable has red value. Now I want to compile this SAS or SCSS code to Power CSS. So go back to command prompt. Now inside the command prompt we have to navigate learn SAS folder. So what we need to do, let me add cd. Cd stands for change directory. So cd desktop. Now on desktop I have learn SAS folder. So again cd learn SAS. Yeah, perfect. Now we have to add SAS, which is the package name. After that we have to add the input file name. So we have f.scss file. So let me add space f.scss space, and finally we have to add the output file name. So we have app.css. In this file we will have the compiled CSS code. So let me add app.css. Now simply press the enter key from the keyboard. Yeah, perfect. Now as you can see, inside f.css file we have this compiled code. We have this compiled code. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to run this command from package.json file. Package.json file is a configuration file. We can define scripts and package.json file, and it also keeps the list of npm dependencies. So now what we need to do, first of all we have to create the package.json file. So simply we have to type npm init. Now press the enter key from the keyboard. Now this will ask some questions, and the first question is package name, and by default we have learn SAS, which is the folder name. So default name is fine. So press the enter key. Now we have version. So default version is fine. Press the enter key. Now we have description. So let's say learn SAS or SCSS from scratch. Enter. Now we have entry point. So default name is fine. Now we have test command, so enter, enter, enter. Now we have author, so let's say in my case Shakil Khan. By the way, you can add your own name. Enter. License default is fine. Is this okay? Yes. Now we have package.json file. As you can see, inside this file we have JSON object. Inside this object we have scripts. We have scripts key. Inside scripts we have test. We have test key. So instead test I am going to add compile dash sas. By the way, you can add abc xyz, but in my case compile dash sas. And value should be, let me delete this value, and value should be, let me show you, basically this thing. So simply we have to add sas, which is the package name. After we have to add the input file name, so app.scss. Now app.css. So this command basically means compile the code of this file and place the compiled code in this file, I mean inside app.css. So let me save the file, and finally we have to run this script compile dash sas. So simply go back to command prompt. Now let me add cls. Cls stands for clear command prompt. Yes. Now we have to add npm run. After the run we have to add the script name, which is compile dash sas. So let me add compile dash sas. Press the enter key. Yeah, fine. Now let's say if I change red color to orange. Now we have to rerun this script again. So let me add npm run compile dash sas. Now simply go to app.css and we have orange color. Now friends, we have one issue, and the issue is, let's say if I change orange to green. So each time if we change this file, so each time we have to rerun this script, and this is not a good approach. So now what we need to do, simply go to package.json file. Inside this command we have to add space dash dash watch flag. So now what we'll do, dash dash watch flag. Each time if we change any SCSS file, in that case dash dash watch will basically rerun this script. Dash dash watch will rerun this script. Now let me show you. Simply save the file. Now let me add cls npm run compile dash sas. Now as you can see, sas is watching for changes. So for example, instead green, if I add indigo. Save the file. Now go to app.css and we have indigo. If I add here yellow, save the file. Now we have yellow, fine. Now I want to delete this file f.css.map. Basically we don't need this file, so I want to delete this file. So what we need to do, go back to package.json. after dash dash watch we have to add space dash dash no dash source dash map. And first of all we have to delete this file manually. Let me delete. Now first of all we have to stop the script, so simply press Ctrl C from the keyboard. Yes, cls. Now again npm run compile dash sas. Yeah, and we have no more app.css.map file. So for example, if I add here again red, save the file. Now we have red background, we have background red. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about Sass or SCSS variables. So the first question is, what are variables? Variables are containers. Variables are containers which basically store values in the computer memory. Now Sass or SCSS variables start from $. Sass or SCSS variables start from $. So first of all we have to add $. So simply $. After the $, we can add any name. So let's say my color. You can add my dash color or my underscore color. You can add just color or bg. So let's say I'm going to add box dash color colon. After the colon you can add any css valid value. So let's say red, you can add 20 pixels or plex dash int or center. You can put any css valid value. So let's say in my case box color, so let's say indigo. Now let me delete body selector. Now we can reuse this variable throughout all SCSS files. We can reuse this variable throughout all SCSS or Sass files. So let's say I am going to target a class, and the class name, let's say box1. And don't worry, we don't have box1 class, but just an example, we have to target any class. Okay, so box1 background. Now I want to use this variable because in this variable we have indigo color. So let me add dollar box dash color. Now let me add dot box to background dollar box dash color box 3 background box color. Let me save the file. Now simply go to f.css and we have box1 and this has background indigo. After that we have box 2 and this has background indigo. Now let's say I want to change the background color. So what we need to do, simply we have to change only this value. So let's say orange. Save the file. Now we have orange backgrounds. Let's say if I want to choose green, save the file. Now we have green backgrounds. understand. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to talk about debug rule. In SAS we have different rules. As you can see, we have use rule, forward, import, mixin, include, function. We have a lots of rules, and all rules start from @ sign. All rules start from @ sign. So in this video we are going to talk about debug rule. What is debug and when to use debug rule. If you have worked in JavaScript language, then you must have seen console.log. So debug rule is same like console.log. Let's say if you want to output the value of a variable or expression in the command prompt. So in that case you can use debug rule. Simply go to VS Code. First of all, I am going to create a new variable. So let's say $number colon. So let's say 5 value. Now I want to output the value of this variable and this black screen. So simply we have to use debug rule. So we have to add @sign because all rules start from @sign. Now we have to add the rule name. So simply debug keyword. After the debug keyword we have to add the variable name. So we have $number. So $number. Save the file. Go to command prompt. Now as you can see we have debug file. We have debug file. Now let's say I want to create one more variable. $sum colon 10 plus 10. So 10 plus 10 equal to 20. So now in this sum variable we have 20 value. Now I want to output the sum of this variable and this black screen. So what we need to do, again we have to use debug rule. So @debug $sum. Save the file, go back to command prompt, and we have debug 20. We have debug 20. Now let's say if you want to output a message along with this sum. So what we need to do, simply we have to use single quotes or double quotes and the sum as. Now I want to output this dynamic variable. So what we need to do, first of all we have to add hash curly braces. Inside the curly braces we have to add $sum. Save the file. Now go back to command prompt, and we have the sum as 20. The sum is 20. Let's say if I add here 10 plus 30. Save the file, go back to command prompt. Now we have the sum as 40. The sum is 40. So simply we can use a debug rule for debugging. If you want to output the value of a variable or expression, so in that case we can use debug rule. We can use debug rule. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about SAS modules. Modules basically means we can divide our SAS code in different modules. We can divide our SAS code in different modules. Let's say in the HTML file app we have navbar section and header section. So I can create one SAS file for navbar and second SAS file for header section. So simply we can divide our SAS code and different modules. Now I want to create two SAS modules. So we have to create a new file and make sure SAS modules start from underscore. SAS modules start from underscore. Underscore basically means underscore will tell to SAS compiler that this is a SAS module. Understand? So first of all, underscore. After the underscore we can add any name. We can add any valid name. So let's say navbar.scss. Now again new file underscore header.scss. Now go to navbar.scss. Now I am going to target nav selector and this will has background orange, color white. Now go to header.scss. Now I am going to target header selector and this will has background indigo, color should be white. Now I want to access these two modules inside app.scss file. I want to access these two modules inside app.scss file. So what we need to do, simply we have to use SAS rule and the rule name is use. The rule name is use. So up here, first of all I am going to add at the rate sign because all rules start from at the rate sign. After at the rate we have to add use keyword. We have to add use keyword. After the use keyword we can add double quotes or single quotes. Now semicolon. Inside the quotes we have to add the module name. We have to add the module name, but make sure we have to add the module name without underscore and without file extension. We have to add the module name without underscore and without the file extension because SAS is very smart. SAS is very smart. So inside the codes I want to add, first of all I want to access navbar.scss. So we have to add only navbar. We have to add only navbar. And second I want to access header.scss. So again at the rate use header semicolon, save the file. Now go to app.css. Now as you can see, first of all we have name and below that we have header. So with the help of modules we can divide our SAS code and different modules. In this video we are going to talk about what is the basic difference between SAS and SCSS. For all files I have used the SCSS extension. As you can see, for all files I have used the SCSS extension. Let's say I want to rename this file app.scss. So let me rename and we have to add app.sas. Instead SCSS we have to use SAS extension. Now in this file, instead curly braces we have to use indentations. Instead curly braces we have to use indentations. Indentations basically means some empty spaces, and SAS extension basically using indentations instead curly braces. So we have to delete this curly brace and also this one. Now you see between box 1 and background we have empty spaces. We have some empty spaces. So instead curly braces we have to use indentations, and indentations basically means some empty spaces. But in this course I will use the SCSS extension because SAS syntax is slightly confusing. SAS syntax is slightly confusing. So that's why I will use the SCSS extension instead SAS extension. Understand? So enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to access SAS variables in SAS modules. So first of all, I am going to create a new module. So new file, and the module name will be underscore variables dot scss. Now I am going to create some SAS variables. So dollar orange colon orange, dollar indigo colon indigo, dollar white colon white. Now I want to access these variables inside underscore header dot scss module. So what we need to do, first of all, inside this module we have to access variables module. So simply up here I am going to add at the rate use keyword because I want to access a module. Now we have to add single quotes or double quotes, semicolon. Inside the codes we have to add the module name. So we have variables module. Let me add variables, and make sure we have to add the module name without underscore and without the file extension. Now from variables module I want to access dollar indigo variable because this variable has indigo color, and I want to access dollar indigo variable from this module. So what we need to do, instead indigo I am going to add dollar indigo, and this code will not going to work. Let me show you. Simply go to app.css. Now as you can see we have an error, and the reason is dollar indigo variable basically need a namespace. Dollar indigo variable basically need a namespace, and this variables is a namespace for dollar indigo. This variables is a namespace for dollar indigo. So before dollar indigo we have to add variables dot dollar indigo. Let me save the file, go back to app.css, and we have indigo. If we have path look like, let's say if we have variables folder, inside there if we have header folder, inside there if we have colors. So our namespace will be this last thing. Our namespace will be this last thing, I mean colors. So instead variables we have to add colors. Understand? If we have path look like this, let's say variables folder, inside there if we have header file, so our namespace will be this last thing. So instead colors we have to add header. but right now we have this path variables. So our namespace is basically variables. Understand? Now let's say I want to rename variables namespace. So what we need to do after the codes, we have to add s keyword. After the s keyword, we can add any name. So let's say my colors. So now instead variables, we have to add my colors. Let me save the file, go back to app.css, and we have indigo. Now let's say I want to delete the namespace. Let's say I want to delete the namespace. So instead my colors, we have to add asterisk sign. We have to add asterisk sign. So asterisk sign will basically delete the namespace. So now let me delete my colors. We have to add only $indigo. Let me save the file, go back to app.css, and we have indigo. Now I want to access $white. So what I will do, before white we have to add dollar. Let me save the file, go to app.css, and we have white. Now go to navbar.scss. Now inside this module I want to access $orange variable and $white. So what we need to do, first of all, up here we have to add at the rate, use single quotes or double quotes, semicolon. We have to add the module name. So we have variables. Now I want to delete the namespace. So we have to add s keyword, asterisk sign. Now instead orange, we have to add $orange, and right here we have to add $white. Let me save the file. Now go back to app.css. Now as you can see, we have orange, below that we have white. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about Sass nesting. Nesting basically means we can nest childs inside the parent. We can nest childs inside the parent. So go to index.html. Inside the body I am going to create nav tag. Inside the nav tag we will have ul. So this ul is the child of this nav tag. This ul is the child of this nav tag. Inside the ul we will have li. So this li is a child of this ul. Inside the li we will have a tag, and this will has home title. So this a tag is a child of this li. Understand? Now simply go to app.css. Now let me delete this code. Now simply I'm going to target nav selector. So simply nav. This will has width 100%, height 80 pixels, background orange, line height 80 pixels. Now inside nav we have ul. So between these two curly braces we can target ul like so. inside these two curly braces we can target ul like this, because this ul is a child of this nav. So ul well has list type should be none. Now inside ul we have li. So between these two curly braces I'm going to target li like so. Li will has display in line block. Now inside li we have a tag. So between these two curly braces I am going to target a like so, and a will has text decoration should be none, color should be white. Now simply go to app.css. Now as you can see, first of all we have nav tag, and this basically has width, height, background, line height. Below that we have nav. Inside nav we have ul, and ul has list style none. After that we have nav ul li, and finally we have nav ul li a, and a tag basically has this code. Understand? Now simply go back to index.html, and below the title I'm going to add link tag, and we have to link app.css. Now I'm going to open up the live server. Yeah, perfect. We have this orange nav bar. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about BEM methodology. BEM stands for Block Element Modifier. With the help of BEM methodology we can create clear relation between parent and child classes. Understand? To this nav tag I am going to assign a class. So simply class equal to nav. Instead nav you can add abc whatever you want, but in my case nav. So this nav basically represent this nav tag. Inside the nav tag we have ul, and this will has class equal to nav. So this nav basically represent the parent class name, which is this one. After the nav we have to add underscore. Instead double underscores you can add single underscore as well, but in my case I'm going to add double underscores. After the underscores we have to add ul. Instead ul you can add abc whatever you want, but in my case ul. So this ul basically represent this ul tag. Now friends, as you can see, between this nav and ul we have clear relation, because this nav represent the parent class name, which is this nav. Understand? Now inside ul we have li, and this will has class equal to nav underscore ul. So nav underscore ul represent the parent class name, which is this one. After the ul, I am going to add underscore underscore li. So li basically represent li tag. Inside li we have anchor tag, and this will has class equal to new underscore underscore ul underscore underscore li. So this class represent the parent class name, which is this one. Now we have to add underscore underscore a. So a represent the anchor tag. Understand? Now let me explain you what is block, what are elements, and what are modifiers. In this code we have only one parent tag. In this code we have only one parent, and that is new. That is new. So this new is basically block. This new is basically block. Inside this block we have three childs. Inside this new we have three nested childs. So these are elements. These are elements. I mean ul, li, and anchor tag. These are elements. Now what are modifiers? So simply I am going to copy this li along with anchor tag. Let me copy paste that. Now I want this anchor tag will has red color, and this anchor tag will has indigo color. Now to do this, simply we have to use modifiers. So what we need to do, this anchor tag will has another class. So let me copy this class. Let me add a space, paste the class. Now to add modifier we have to add dash dash. After the dash dash we can add any name. So let's say red. So this red is a modifier. This red is a modifier. Understand? Now this anchor tag will has indigo color. So let me copy this class. Let me add a space, paste the class. Now we have to add dash dash indigo. Indigo. So dash dash red and dash dash indigo, these are modifiers. These are modifiers. Understand? Now simply we have to target new class inside app.scss. So instead new we have to add dot new class. Inside the new class we have new underscore underscore ul. So let me add here dot new underscore underscore ul. Now instead this parent class, instead dot new, we can add and sign. We can add and sign. So and sign basically represent the parent class name, which is dot new. Inside the ul we have li. So let me add here dot new underscore underscore ul underscore underscore li. So instead this parent class I am going to add and sign. So and sign basically represent the parent class name, which is dot new underscore underscore ul. Inside the li we have anchor. We have anchor tag, basically this one. So let me add here dot new underscore underscore ul underscore underscore li underscore underscore a. Now instead this parent class I am going to add and sign like so. And finally we have to target modifiers. So we have dash dash red and dash dash indigo. So what we need to do, inside a, I am going to add here simply dot name underscore underscore ul underscore underscore li underscore underscore a dash dash red. So now instead this parent class I am going to add and this will has color red. Now we have dash dash indigo. So simply and dash dash indigo. Color should be indigo like so. Now let me save the file. Now go to the browser. As you can see, we have two links. Let me change the text. Let's say contact. Let me save the file, go back to the browser. So home basically has a red color and contact basically has indigo color. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about SAS list. In SAS list we can keep more than one values, same as JavaScript arrays. Now let me show you SAS list practically. Simply I am going to delete this code. Now we have to create a variable. So let's say $colors colon $colors variable will keep our list. After the colon I am going to add parentheses semicolon like so. Inside the parentheses we can define different values. Let's say 10 pixels comma 11 pixels comma 12 pixels comma 13 pixels and so on. So we can keep more than one values in SAS list. In this video, instead pixels, I am going to keep some colors. So simply I am going to delete these values and I gonna add orange. Orange is a string value. So we have to wrap orange in single quotes or double quotes. Let me use single quotes like so. Now simply comma green comma red comma blue. Now I want to output $colors list. So we can use a debug rule. Let me add @debug $colors. Save the file, go to command prompt, and we have orange, green, red and blue. Now I want to loop $colors list. I want to loop $colors list. So we can use SAS each loop. We can use each loop. Let me delete this line. And first of all we have to add each keyword, and I want to loop $colors list. So we have to add $colors curly braces. From this list I want to access individual value, I mean orange, green, red and blue. Now to access individual value from this list, simply before $colors we have to add dollar color. Instead dollar color you can add dollar $A, dollar $B, dollar $C, whatever you want, but in my case dollar color. Now we have to add n keyword. We have to add n keyword. So each will loop dollar colors list, and we can access individual value through dollar color. Let me show you. Simply at the rate debug dollar color. Save the file, go back to command prompt, and we have orange, green, red and blue. Now I want to create some dynamic classes like color dash. After the dash I want to append orange, green, red and blue. So what we need to do, we can access these values through dollar color. So after the dash we have to append dollar color variable. So what we need to do, simply we have to add hash curly braces. Inside the curly braces we have to add dollar color curly braces. Now simply add background dollar color, save the file. Now go to app.css and we have color orange, color green, color red. Now as you can see, around orange we have double quotes, and I want to delete these quotes. So what we need to do, go back to app.css. Instead dollar color we have to add hash sign, and we have to wrap dollar color in curly braces like so. So let me save the file, go back to app.css, and we have orange, green, red and blue. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about Sass maps. Maps look like lists, but they keep data and key value pairs. Maps keep data and key value pairs same as JavaScript objects. Now let me show you maps practically. Simply I am going to create a variable, let's say $font weights colon parentheses semicolon. Inside the parentheses, first of all we have to add the key name. So let's say normal. You can add ABC whatever you want, but in my case normal. Normal is a string value, so we have to wrap normal and single quotes or double quotes. Let me use single quotes like so. Now we have to add colon. After the colon we have to add value for this key. So let's say 400 comma single quotes bold colon 500 comma extra bold colon 600. Now I want to access values from this map, so we can use Sass built-in function, and the function name is map-get. First of all we have to add @debug, and the function name is map-get, and this function takes two parameters. First of all we have to add the map name. So we have this map, let me copy paste that, And second, we can add the key name. Let's say I want to access 500 value. So for this value we have bold key. So right here we have to add single quotes or double quotes. Inside the quotes we have to add bold key. Let me copy, paste that. Now I am going to delete this line. Now simply save the file, go to command prompt, and we have 500. We have 500. Let's say I want to access 400. So for this value we have normal key. Let me copy and paste that right here. Save the file, go back to command prompt, and we have 400. Understand? Now I want to loop this map, so we can use each loop. Let me add here each keyword, and I want to loop this map. Let me copy, paste that, curly braces. After the each keyword I am going to add a variable. Let's say $font n keyword. So through $font we can access key and value. We can access key and value. Let me show you. Debug $font. Save the file, go back to command prompt, and we have normal 400, bold 500, extra bold 600. But I want to access key and values separately. So what we need to do, let me delete font, and we have to add $key comma $value. Instead value you can add A, B, C, whatever you want, but in my case value. So key will keep all keys, which is normal, bold, extra bold, and $value will keep all values, which is 400, 500, and 600. Understand? So let's say I am going to add single quotes. Your key is colon hash curly braces $key. Let me add debug again. Your value is colon hash curly braces $value. Save the file, go back to command prompt, and we have your key is normal, your value is 400. Now I want to create some dynamic classes. So let's say dot font dash. After the dash I want to append normal, bold, and extra bold. So we can access keys from $key. So let me add hash curly braces $key curly braces font weight property, and this will has $value. Save the file. Now go to app.css, and we have font normal, font bold, font extra bold. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. Thank you. In this video we are going to talk about SAS for loop. Let's say if you want to run a loop up to a specific point, in that case you can use for loop. Simply I am going to create two variables. Let's say $start loop colon 1. So 1 basically means loop will start from 1, and second we will have end loop colon 20. You can add 10, 30, 40, whatever you want, but in my case 20. So 20 basically means I want to run my loop 20 times. I want to run my loop 20 times. And now we have to add at the rate for keyword. After the for keyword, we have to add the iteration variable. So let's say $I. You can add $A, $B, $C, whatever you want. But in my case, $I. So this variable will increment in each iteration. This variable will increment in each iteration. After the iteration variable, we have to add from keyword. So from basically means our loop will start from $start loop. And now we have to add through keyword. After the through, we have to add $end loop. So our loop will start from this number and it will goes up to this number. Understand? Now simply I am going to add debug $I. Save the file, go to command prompt, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Now let's say I want to create some dynamic classes. So simply dot font size dash. After the dash I want to append numbers. So what we need to do, simply we have to append $I variable. So let me add hash curly braces. Let's say if I add variable like $I. So SAS will treat this variable as a string. SAS will treat this variable as a string. So what we need to do, simply we have to add hash curly braces, and set there we have to add $I like so. And we will have font size property, and this will has what? $I. After the I, we have to append pixel unit. We have to append pixel unit. So what we need to do, again we have to use hash curly braces $I. After the curly brace, we can append px. We can append px. Let me save the file. Now go to app.css, and we have font size 1 pixel, font size 2 pixels, font size 3 pixels, and so on. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to talk about if else statements. With the help of if else statements, we can check the conditions. If the condition is true, then do something, otherwise do something else. So simply I am going to delete this code to make file clear. Now I am going to create a variable, for example $circle, and this will has a true value. Now I am going to target a class, for example .header, and this will has width 200 pixels, height 200 pixels. Now I am going to check $circle variable. If this variable has true value, then I will use border radius. Otherwise, I will not use border radius. So simply we have to use if statement. Below the height, I am going to add at the rate. First of all, we have to add at the rate f keyword. After the f keyword, we can add the condition. So I am going to add dollar circle variable curly braces. So if dollar circle variable has true value, then simply use border radius 50%. Save the file, go to app.css, and we have header class. Inside there we have border radius 50% because circle variable has true value. We can also add the else statement. So right here let me add at the rate else keyword curly braces. Now up here I am going to add false value. So if dollar circle variable doesn't have true value, then go to else, and simply use border radius 0. Save the file, go back to app.css, and we have 0. We have border radius 0 because circle variable has false value. So that's why we have border radius 0. We can also check string values. Up here I am going to add single quotes normal value. Now I am going to check if dollar circle variable is equal to single quotes normal, then simply use border radius 10 pixels. Otherwise go to else. In the else statement I am going to add else if. I am going to check another if dollar circle equal to radius, then simply use border radius 50%. Otherwise go to else. Right here go to else and simply use border radius 0. So if these two conditions are not true, then go to else and simply use border radius 0. So right now we have normal value. So this statement will run because dollar circle variable has normal value. So simply go to app.css, and we have border radius 10 pixels. Now if I add here radius, radius like so. So now this condition will run because in the circle variable we have radius value. So simply go to app.css, and we have 50%. Let's say if I add here ABC. So now these two conditions are false. So we will have border radius 0 because in the circle variable we have ABC. So go to app.css, and we have border radius 0. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video we are going to talk about functions. So the first question is, what is function? In a function we can put some piece of logic, and after we can reuse that function in different places. So that's why Functions are very useful. Functions are very useful. In this video, I am going to create a grid system. Normally in a grid system, in a single row, maximum we have 12 columns. So I will create 12 columns, and for that I will use a function. Now to create a function, first of all we have to add at the rate function keyword. After the function keyword, we can add the function name. The function name is totally up to you. So in my case, grade parentheses curly braces. This function will receive only one parameter. So inside the parentheses, I am going to add dollar number. By the way, you can add $A, $B, $C, whatever you want. But in my case, dollar number. Sorry, number. Now this function should return something. So simply we have to add at the rate return keyword. Now we can return string value or number or boolean values, but in my case I am going to do some calculation. Basically I want to create some columns, and for that I will use a formula, and the formula is 100% divided by 12, because in a single row maximum we will have 12 columns. So that's why we have to divide 100 on 12. Now simply multiply by dollar number, basically this thing. So dollar number could be 1 2 3 4 up to 12. Understand? Now simply right here I am going to create a class, for example dot call dash 1. So call dash 1 basically means I want to take only one column from 12. Okay, and this will has width colon. Now simply we have to call grade function. So let me call grade. Now I am going to pass only one. So one basically means I want to take only one column. So simply save the file, go to app.css, and we have call dash 1, and set there we have this value, we have this value. Now simply go to command prompt, and we have recommendation deprecation warning. Using divide by for division is deprecated and will be removed, and dot sass this version, and the recommendation method is this one. Okay, so simply instead go back to app.css. Instead this method, simply we have to use a Sass built-in module. So what we need to do, first of all, up here I am going to import something from Sass. So simply at the rate use keyword single quotes or double quotes Sass colon, and I want to access math module. I want to access math module from Sass. Understand? Math is a built-in Sass module. Now simply instead this code we have to add math, basically this math. From math I am going to access div function. So div basically means division. Div basically means division. So I want to divide 100% comma 12. Okay, so divide 100 on 12, multiply by dollar number. Save the file, go to app.css, and we have basically an error. Let me check. Sorry, we have the spelling issue. We have to add one more s like so. Save the file, go back to app.css, and we have same output. Now simply I am going to create one more class. Let me copy this class, paste that. We will have call dash 2, and here also 2. Save the file, go to f.css, and we have this class, and what basically has this value. Let me paste one more time, call dash 3. We have to pass 3 here as well. Now simply call dash 4, grade 4, save the file, go back to app.css, and we have 4 columns. Understand? So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. So for now, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to talk about Sass extends. With the help of extends, we can inherit CSS classes. Let me show you. First of all, I am going to delete this code. Now simply I am going to create a class, for example .alert, and this will has padding 15 pixels, font size 14 pixels, color should be white. Now I am going to create another class .alert danger. Inside this class I want to inherit alert class. Inside alert danger I want to inherit alert class. So what we need to do, inside alert danger we have to add at the rate extend keyword. After the extend keyword we have to add .alert. Basically I want to inherit this class, so we have to add .alert like so. Now inside alert danger we can add additional properties. So let me add background red. Save the file, go to app.css. As you can see, alert and alert danger have these same properties. Below that we have alert danger. Inside there we have this unique property. Now go to index.html. Below the nav tag I am going to create a class, and the class name will alert danger, and this will has a message, sorry, you are not authorized, like so. Now I am going to open up the live server like so. So as you can see we have this alert danger message. Understand? Now we can inherit more than one classes. Let's say I am going to create one more class .alert radius like so, and this will has border radius 5 pixels. Now I want to inherit alert radius class as well inside alert danger. So what we need to do, after .alert we have to add comma .alert radius like so. Save the file, go back to the browser. As you can see we have this slightly radius. Understand? Now go back to index.html. I am going to create another class alert success, and this will has a message, your account has been created save the file, go to app.scss. Let me target alert dash success. Now I want to inherit these two classes. So what we need to do, let me copy this line, paste that inside here, and this will has background green like so. Save the file, go back to the browser, and we have this green alert message. Understand? Now friends, simply go to app.css. Inside this file we have alert and alert radius class, but I want to ignore these two classes inside app.css. I mean, I want to delete these two classes from this file, and I want to use these two classes only for inheritance. I want to use these two classes only for inheritance. So what we need to do, instead dot we have to use percentage sign like so. Let me add here as well, and here also percentage, here also. Save the file. Now go to app.css. As you can see, we don't have alert and alert radius class anymore inside this file. If I go to the browser, so we have same output, So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question. In this video, we are going to talk about Sass mixins. Mixins and extends both are the same things. The only difference is mixin functions accept parameters. Mixin functions accept parameters. Now let me show you. Simply I am going to delete these two things. Now I am going to create a mixin function. So first of all we have to add at the rate mixin keyword. After the mixin keyword we have to add the mixin function name. Name is totally up to you. So in my case, alert, parentheses, curly braces. This function will takes two parameters. So let's say $bg. You can add $a, $b, $c, whatever you want, but in my case $bg. Second, we will have $radius like so. Inside the mixin we will have background colon $bg. So in this variable we will have a color like green, red, orange like so. Understand? After we will have border radius, and this will has $radius like so. Understand? Now we will have color should be white, padding 15 pixels, font size 14 pixels. Now inside alert dash danger I am going to call alert mixin. So let me delete these two lines, and first of all we have to add at the rate include keyword because I want to access a mixin. So we have to add include keyword. After the include keyword we have to add the mixin name. So we have alert like so. Now I am going to pass a color. As you can see we have $bg. So we have to pass a color. Let's say red, comma, Second, we have to pass radius. So let's say 4 pixels. Inside alert dash success, again I am going to call alert mixin. So let me delete these two lines. We have to add include alert. We will have green color. After that we will have 8 pixels radius. Save the file, go to the browser. As you can see, we have same output. So friends, enough for this video. Still, if you have any issue in this video, you can ask the question.